Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Devin.domino. So today I'm going to be talking about 10 ways you can maintain your curly hair. When I first went natural in 2015, there were a couple of natural hair YouTubers that were out there, but there were not a lot of natural hair YouTubers with my type of hair. I just pick it out a lot. That's why it looks big right now, or somewhat big. A lot of them didn't have my curl texture. A lot of them didn't have the density that I have. So I decided to just make a video on what I've learned over the journey with natural hair. My first tip for maintaining natural curly hair is to deep condition. So what I do is I actually deep condition once a week. The reason why I deep condition once a week is because just putting leave-in conditioner and gel and oil in your hair and just going about your week is not enough to maintain curly hair. You need to deep condition. Basically what deep conditioner is, it's basically like a conditioner times 10. It's going to like moisturize your hair. It's going to cause it to have less breakage. It's going to cause those curls to bounce like they should. So definitely deep condition at least once a week. Whenever you do deep condition, I always recommend to not go overboard with deep conditioning. You know, when you get in the shower, just deep condition your hair 15 to 30 minutes. Do not go over that time. Do not go under that time. Once you start deep conditioning and deep conditioning way too much, it causes your hair to lose elasticity, okay? Which is basically like bounce, you know? If you over condition your hair will not do that. It'll just kind of stay in place, you know? So you want your hair to be bouncy and fun and, you know, if you end up over conditioning your hair, then I recommend doing a protein treatment. That'll cause your hair to be a lot stronger and will cause less breakage. Don't focus so much on the price. Do not focus so much on the brand name. You know, focus on the ingredients. Whenever you're deep conditioning, always focus on the ends, okay? The ends are going to be the oldest part of your hair. So this is like 3 years old. This is probably like 2 weeks old, you know? So you definitely want to moisturize the ends of your hair because this is the part that's the most prone to breakage. It's prone to split ends, and you just want to avoid that. So start from the ends, you know, section your hair, get all up in here. I know a lot of people like they'll just kind of just take a little bit of conditioner and just do this. No, you gotta take each little section and just moisturize, take another section, moisturize that part. Don't just take a glob and just be like that, because then you're only moisturizing this part of your hair. You don't forget about all this in there, okay? Especially if you have thick hair. If you have thicker hair than me, you definitely need to use a lot of deep conditioner. Another way you can deep condition is heating up the conditioner. I don't recommend putting the deep conditioner in the microwave because then it's gonna lose all of its nutrition. So what you can do is you can basically warm it up on the stove, or you can use a heat cap to lock in that heat, okay? Whenever you're deep conditioning. My second tip is going to be shampooing daily. You definitely want to avoid shampooing daily. The reason why people with curly hair cannot shampoo every single day is because all the oil is up here in your scalp. So basically with the oils, it'll basically just go down, you know, the strands of your hair and just, you know, coat your strands. Whenever you have straight hair, it's a lot easier for the oil to just run down the strands of the hair because it's just going straight, you know? So whenever you have straight hair, your hair is going to get oily faster. With curly hair, we have all these zigzags and curls and waves and just craziness. So it takes the oil a lot longer to coat all of your strands, especially if you have long hair. You're gonna get away with shampooing once a month, maybe even twice a month, depending on your hair type and the density of it and the texture of your hair. It's not nasty. Don't get me wrong, it's not nasty, okay? You know, you can always use a co-wash to wash your hair. Maybe every 4 days you can co-wash your hair. What co-washing is, it actually is like a cleansing moisturizer that you can use. It actually causes your hair to be more moisturized. If you are going to use a shampoo, I would avoid sulfates as much as possible. Sulfates cause your hair to dry. You don't have to get a super expensive shampoo. You don't have to get a super expensive deep conditioner. Just focus on the ingredients, okay? Avoid sulfates. Avoid silicones as much as possible because that will dry out your hair. Sulfates strip your hair of moisture, and that's what you want to avoid when it comes down to curly hair. You want to maintain moisture. You don't want to lose moisture, okay? So with sulfates, it actually causes your hair to be super dry. And so all the things I said about deep conditioning, you can throw that out the window because you already stripped your hair of any moisture it could have. Once your scalp starts to itch a lot and you start getting a lot of buildup and dandruff, then definitely shampoo your hair. Just kind of use a clean slate because once you start piling on too much conditioner, it starts doing the opposite of what it needs to do. Tip number 3 is going to be detangling. So when it comes down to detangling, I know a lot of people say like that they don't really use combs or brushes. Sometimes I'll use a comb because my hair gets super tangly, and sometimes when I'm finger detangling, I get super lazy or I'm in a rush. It takes a lot longer to finger detangle, and I have a hard time detangling my scalp. So sometimes I'll use a comb when it comes down to this up here. If you are going to use a comb, you should use a wide tooth comb. I can show you what a wide tooth comb looks like. Hold on. This is what a wide tooth comb is. Basically, the teeth on the wide tooth comb are very open. So with the wide tooth comb, it actually makes it a lot easier to go through the hair and just kind of, you know, slowly just pick it out. With your regular rat tail comb, the teeth are a little bit too small to kind of get through those curls, and it's going to cause a lot more breakage than what you need. So if you are going to use a comb, I recommend using a wide tooth comb. If you are going to be combing or finger detangling, always start from the bottom. A lot of times with curly hair, it starts to get really tangled up at the roots, okay? So if you're going to take this comb and basically put it in your hair and start to go down, it's going to like give you, you know, resistance. And basically you're pulling and pulling and pulling, and you're just pulling out all of this hair. So what you want to do is you want to start off at the bottom and slowly work your way up to the top, okay? So that way you're not starting from here and just yanking, you know? Another thing that I love to use is called the Denman brush, okay? This is a knockoff version of the Denman brush. I got it when I was living in New York City. I was living in Washington Heights. It was $5. I was like, okay, I'm gonna get it. Works just like the Denman brush, even though it's a knockoff. So the Denman brush actually helps me a lot to keep my curls defined like this, okay? Tip number 4 is going to be waiting too long to put styling products in your hair. Let's say, for instance, you just got out of the shower, okay? You just got out of the shower, that show that you've been wanting to watch just came on, you're hungry, so you go in the kitchen and make yourself something to eat. All of a sudden, it's been 45 minutes to an hour and you still haven't finished your hair and you still haven't applied products to it. With me, if I do not apply my styling products to my hair within 15 minutes of stepping out of the shower, my hair is going to be a tangled mess. It's going to be super frizzy. It's just going to be a big frizz ball. I don't want to have to deal with it. I'm going to have to step back in the shower and detangle it all over again. It's just a mess. So I always style my hair as soon as I get out of the shower. Whenever you style your hair, you want to make sure that you are styling your hair on soaking wet hair. The reason why you want to apply your products on soaking wet hair is if you're trying to apply products to hair that's already super frizzy, your hair is going to come out super frizzy. You want to make sure that your hair is soaking wet whenever you're styling your products. For me, the products go on a lot smoother, my hair dries a lot better, and my curls are a lot more defined whenever I style on soaking wet hair. So as soon as you get out of the shower, put your leave-in conditioner in, put your oils in, put your gel in, put your styling products in, and then you can go about your day. But don't wait too long once you're done washing your hair to put the styling products in. My 5th tip is going to be going to bed with natural curly hair. So with natural curly hair, you definitely want to avoid sleeping on cotton pillowcases. If you do have a cotton pillowcase, I always recommend putting your hair up into a pineapple. And basically what a pineapple looks like is going to be, you're basically going to flip your hair upside down, and you're going to take all of your hair and put it up into a high ponytail. Just take up all the hair and put it up into a high ponytail. And this is what a pineapple looks like. You see? Catch a little pineapple, okay? So that way, all the curls right here are protected whenever you're sleeping and rolling around and acting all crazy. So put it up into a pineapple, or you can use a satin pillowcase. Or my least favorite option is going to be putting a satin cap on, a silk cap. So with this cap, you know, I just kind of put my hair up into a pineapple, and I throw this on and go to sleep. I don't like it. This bothers me for some reason. It reminds me back whenever I had relaxed hair and I had to go to bed with a scarf. You know how that was. You know how when you were like, I don't know, 10 years old, and you go and sit in front of between your mama's legs and she'd put the scarf on. So I don't like sleeping with anything on my head, so I prefer to just wear the pineapple. The reason why you want to go to bed with a satin pillowcase versus a cotton pillowcase is, with cotton, it's going to cause friction on your hair, which causes it to be frizzy, okay? So versus with satin, it just kind of just glides, you know? It glides, you know, versus with, you know, a cotton pillowcase, it just kind of rubs on there and it's caused it to be super, super frizzy. So avoid the friction, use satin. Tip number 6 for maintaining your curly hair is going to be trimming your ends. So the reason why you want to trim your ends whenever you have curly hair, or any hair honestly, is because your hair needs to breathe, okay? So your hair is obviously gonna grow from your scalp, but it's breathes through your ends, okay? So whenever your hair is split, it causes your hair to break off, and then all of a sudden your hair just keeps getting shorter and shorter and shorter and shorter to the point where you just can't grow. So there's a lot of women that do not like trimming their hair because they don't want to have short hair. But here's the thing, if you don't trim your hair, you're gonna have short hair anyways because it's gonna keep on breaking off at the ends. I tend to trim my hair every couple of months, or I try to trim it every couple of months, or when I do finally get to trim it, I do take off a lot. I have pretty fast growing hair. Like, I can show you guys the length of how long my hair is. It goes to like right here, so about to my waistline. So I mean, my hair, it grows pretty fast, but that's because I've done all the tips that I'm telling you guys right now. So that's how my hair continues to grow so much over the years. So always trim your ends as much as possible, because if you don't trim your ends, you're just gonna have a lot of split ends and breakage, and you just want to avoid that. Tip number 7 is going to be bleach. Oh my gosh, bleach, crazy, right? Okay, so many people told me not to bleach my hair because it's bad for your hair. I didn't listen. I'm still not listening, and I'm probably never going to listen. But here's the thing, when it comes down to bleaching your hair, if you are going to bleach your hair, you have to be up for the challenge, okay? Someone who is a lazy natural, do not bleach your hair, okay? If you're gonna be lazy when having bleached hair, then you do not need to bleach your hair. The reason is, bleach it really damages your hair so much. It takes out all of the natural moistures that you have. It just causes your hair to be super, super dry, and you just definitely want to avoid that as much as possible. With bleached hair, you just have to moisturize it a lot more than what you normally would have to if you just had natural hair. I haven't bleached my hair in 2 years now. Diva Curl Salon in New York actually bleached my hair. They did an amazing job with bleaching my hair. Like, they did awesome. And it was a little expensive, but I mean, it was worth it because it didn't damage my curls that much. If you are gonna bleach your curly hair, go to someone you trust. Go to someone who has worked with curly hair, specifically natural black lady curly hair. You know what I mean? So just making sure that you're going to someone you trust, because I've seen so many horror stories. I've seen so many friends go out and get their hair bleached and it just looks like straw. So definitely go to someone that you trust to bleach your hair. Go to someone that can educate you a lot more when it comes down to bleaching your hair. But yeah, so when you do bleach your hair, definitely moisturize it. You're gonna need so much deep conditioning. You're gonna need a lot of protein treatments. You're gonna have to use a specific type of shampoo, like a blue shampoo or a purple shampoo, to maintain the color. So it comes with a lot of work, but I mean, I feel like it's worth it. Tip number 8 is going to be avoiding heat. The reason why you want to avoid heat, using a lot of heat on your hair, is because it can cause heat damage. So the thing with heat damage is it actually causes your curls to lose its elasticity. It causes it to lose its elasticity. It's very difficult for me to say that word for some reason. I don't know why my tongue, you know. So yeah, so it causes your hair to lose elasticity. No one wants heat damage. It does not look very nice at all. It just kind of looks like a straight, straggly piece of hair. It's not very attractive. With heat damage, it looks a lot like Texlax in your hair, which is basically a milder version of a relaxer. Definitely avoid using a lot of heat. If you are going to use heat on your hair, straighten your hair, blow dry it, always use a heat protectant, okay? Don't use too much heat protectant because again, it's going to cause the opposite effect. So if you are going to straighten your hair, do not put your flat iron higher than 400 degrees. Basically, you don't want to go higher than 400 degrees whenever you're flat ironing your hair, because then that's just going to cause heat damage and you don't need that, okay? If you ever decide to bleach your hair, please do not straighten your hair. Like, not even once in a while. Like, if you have bleached hair, like, and you're straightening it all the time, it's just gonna be fried. If your hair is just gonna be fried, it's not gonna be maintainable, it's not gonna be moisturized, so don't do it. Tip number 9 is going to be not using a leave-in conditioner. So basically, once you deep condition your hair, the reason why you really want to use a leave-in conditioner for your hair is so that way, throughout the week, your hair stays moisturized, okay? If you do not use a leave-in conditioner for your hair, then you're basically just like walking around with super dry, frizzy hair, and you want to avoid that. So you always want to keep some type of moisture on your hair. The big reason why you do want to use leave-in conditioner is because whenever you don't use leave-in conditioner, it causes your hair to just be dry and crunchy. It causes split ends, so you have to keep on trimming your hair. Just use leave-in conditioner. Now, there is a difference between regular conditioner and leave-in conditioner. Leave-in conditioner, you just put on your hair for 5 minutes, detangle your hair, and rinse it out. With leave-in conditioner, there's a certain formula that they put in it so that way you can actually leave it in your hair long term, okay? So making sure whenever you're out shopping that you're not just buying any type of conditioner, it has to be leave-in conditioner, okay? So definitely use leave-in conditioner for your hair, especially if you live in a cold environment. With the cold air, it's already causing your hair to be super dry. So by not putting leave-in conditioner in your hair, it's just causing it to be even more dry, okay? So making sure that you are keeping your hair moisturized as much as possible. And then I'll also make another video on what kind of products you should be using for your hair. There's 3 different types of porosities. You have low porosity, medium porosity, and high porosity. I'm going to show you how to know which one you are and what kind of products are best suited for you. Tip number 10 for maintaining your natural curly hair is going to be avoiding hot water. Remember when I talked about your hair strand, how it opens up with cold water and it closes down with warm water? I'm saying warm water, I'm not saying hot water, okay? I know us girls, we love to shower in hot water. With hot water, it actually just causes your hair to just lose moisture. It causes your hair to be more frizzy, and it causes it to be harder to detangle. So whenever you're detangling your hair, whenever you're washing your hair, try to use lukewarm warm water or cold water as much as possible. Avoid using hot water. I know it's super hard to do that. If you have to, step out of the shower and just wash your hair and just put your head in there. But avoid using hot water on your curly hair. And plus, by using cold water, it locks in that moisture. It causes your hair to be more shiny and frizz-free and just more defined. So definitely avoid using hot water as much as possible. Get your water as cool as you possibly can. Thank you so much, guys, for watching my curly hair routine. I appreciate you guys listening to all of my tips. I'll have more tips to come in the future. Thanks so much. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. And I look forward to seeing you in our next video. Thank you. Bye now.